How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was August 9th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was The Butcher, The Blade, and Private Party, which are Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, versus Sam Moore, Braden Lee, James Alexander, and Isaiah Broner. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, The Butcher, The Blade, and Private Party went over because The Butcher pinned Sam Moore by the drag the leg from The Butcher and The Blade. Match 2, it was Anna Jay versus Megan Myers. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Anna Jay went over with the Queen Slayer. Well, after the match, Anna Jay threw Megan Myers out of the ring, and Anna Jay, along with the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, celebrated Anna Jay's victory and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was The Best Friends, which are Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor versus Ren Jones and Rohit Raju. That was a great match, but the ending to it, The Best Friends went over cause Trent Beretta pinned Ren Jones with the strong zero from Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor. Well, after the match, The Best Friends, which are Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, were celebrating their victory, and Rohit Raju was staring the Best Friends down, and Dan Housen came into the ring and turned Rohit Raju around. Dan Housen cursed Rohit Raju, and then Rohit Raju got pissed off, so Dan Housen bag tagged Rohit Raju and Lady Mout, and then The Best Friends, which are Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, along with Dan Housen, celebrated The Best Friends' victory and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 4, it was The Dark Order, which are Evil Uno and 10, versus The Wingmen, which are Peter Avalon and J.D. Drake. That was a great match, but the ending to it, The Dark Order went over because 10 pinned Peter Avalon with the discus clothesline. Now, before the match, the Wingmen, before the match, the Wingmen, which are Peter Avalon and J.D. Drake, attacked the Dark Order, which are Evil Uno and 10, before the match started and everything. That was cool. That was before the match started. That was before the match, by the way. Match 5, it was Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir versus Heather Reckless and Match 5, it was Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir versus Heather Reckless and Jocelyn Navarro. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir went over cause Nyla Rose pinned Heather Reckless with the big boot spinebuster combination from Marina Shafir and Nyla Rose. Well, after the match, Vicky Guerrero came into the ring and got a microphone and cut a promo talking about how Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir are badass women and how they're now called the Beasts of the Burdens, and talking about how everyone paid their ticket to see them. Instead of stuffing their faces and playing on their phones, they came to see them and everything, and then talked about how Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir were going to continue their dominance and everything, and then Vicky Guerrero signaled Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir to do more damage to Heather Reckless and Jocelyn Navarro, so Marina Shafir got Jocelyn Navarro into the ring, and then Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir were beating the shit out of Heather Reckless and Jocelyn Navarro and laid them out and everything. And then Vicky Guerrero said, "Now that is all." And then Nyla Rose, Marina Shafir, and Vicky Guerrero stood tall and everything, while Heather Reckless and Jocelyn Navarro were laid out and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. And before the match, Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir attacked Heather Reckless and Jocelyn Navarro before the match started and everything, which that was cool as well, but that was before the match, by the way. Match 6, Match 6, it was Chris Statlander versus Sierra. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Chris Statlander went over with the running big boot. Match 7, it was the Trust Busters, which are Ari Daivari, Slim J, and Parker Boudreaux versus Sonny Kiss, Zach Clayton, and Xavier Walker. That was a great That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Trust Busters went over because Ari Daivari pinned Xavier Walker with the frog splash. Now after the match, the Trust Busters, which are Ari Daivari, Slim J, and Parker Boudreaux, stared down Sonny Kiss and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 8, it was Hikaru Shida, Ruby Soho, and Athena versus Serena Deeb, Emi Sakura, and Leva Bates. That was a great match. Match 8, it was... Match 8, it was Hikaru Shida, Ruby Soho, and Athena versus Serena Deeb, Leva Bates, and Emi Sakura. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Hikaru Shida, Ruby Soho, and Athena went over because Hikaru Shida pinned Leva Bates with the katana. And match 9, which was the main event, it was Orange Cassidy versus Anthony Henry. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Orange Cassidy went over with the beach break. That was match 9 in the main event, by the way. Now, besides the matches, the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Penta El Cerro Miedo, along with Alex Abrahantes and Los Fascion Ingranabe, which are Andrade El Idolo and Rush, along with Jose the Assistant. Well, it was a vignette of the build-up of the match between the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Penta El Cerro Miedo, versus Los Fascion Ingranabe, which are Andrade El Idolo and Rush, for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, Quake by the Lake. That was cool. And Tony Schiavone interviewed Los Fascion Ingranabe, which are Andrade El Idolo and Rush, along with Jose the Assistant. Well, Tony Schiavone brought up that Los Fascion Ingranabe will be facing the Lucha Brothers on AEW Dynamite's Quake by the Lake and everything, and then Rush was talking about how Los Fascion Ingranabe were a badass team and how they were going to kick the Lucha Brothers' asses and everything. And then Tony Schiavone said, "Well, I'll tell you right now, you're going to be facing the Lucha Brothers, and it's not what you think it's going to be." And then Tony Schiavone asked Andrade El Idolo and Rush why they took the masks off the Lucha Brothers. Well, Andrade El Idolo was saying, "Tony, we took the masks off Phoenix and Penta because we don't care about the masks. Roosh and I, we don't wear masks because we're handsome luchadors. But on Dynamite, Roosh and I, we're going to take out the Lucha Brothers once and for all. And I like you, Tony, because I like your earrings and everything. And then Tony Schiavone brought up again that it's going to be the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo, versus Los Fascion Ingranabes, which are Andrade El Idolo and Roosh on AEW Dynamite's Quake by the Lake and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Stephon Smith. Okay. Rick Knox refereed the match between The Butcher, The Blade, and Private Party versus Sam Moore, Braden Lee, James Alexander, and Isaiah Broner. That was Rick Knox, by the way. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Anna Jay versus Megan Myers. Mike Posey refereed the match between The Best Friends versus Ren Jones and Rohit Raju. Mike Posey refereed the match between The Dark Order versus The Wingmen. Rick Knox refereed the match between Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir versus Heather Reckless and Jocelyn Navarro. Mike Posey refereed the match. That was Rick Knox, by the way. Mike Posey refereed the match between Chris Statlander versus Sierra. Paul Turner refereed the match between the Trustbusters versus Sonny Kiss, Zach Clayton, and Xavier Walker. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Hikaru Shida, Ruby Soho, and Athena versus Serena Deeb, Emi Sakura, and Leva Bates. And Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Orange Cassidy versus Anthony Henry. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card for tonight's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, Quake by the Lake. It's going to be Jon Moxley versus Chris Jericho for the interim AEW title. Jade Cargill versus Madison Rayne for the TBS Women's title. Darby Allin versus Brody King in a coffin match. The Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo versus Los Fascion Ingranabes, which are Andrade El Idolo and Roosh in a Tornado Tag Team match. FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus two local competitors, and Ricky Starks versus Aaron Solo. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, Quake by the Lake, looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was August 9th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.